welcome to the International Mastermind Association Think and Grow Rich show. My name is Galen Bingham. I am the leadership strategist, and I'm excited to be back with you guys. I've missed you. I haven't been here for a couple of weeks, and that doesn't mean because you didn't see me that I wasn't listening in. So we're going to build on all of the amazing conversations that we've been having about the book Think and Grow Rich. And today's topic is going to be imagination. And this is where things start to get really interesting with using this philosophy. Fantastic topic. One of the things I want to share before I bring on any of my co-hosts is just this definition of imagination, because there are two forms of imagination, and we're going to be playing with both of them today. You've got synthetic imagination, and that's where the you've got the faculty of one where one may arrange old concepts, ideas, or plans into new combinations. This faculty creates nothing, but it creates just a new way of using things that we already know. So everything that you've learned, everything that you've been exposed to, this is your opportunity to reorient it into a way that's more useful. And then we've got creative imagination, and this is the faculty where the infinite mind of man is in connection with the infinite intelligence, and you get hunches, you get inspirations, you get this new idea, this new thought that seems to come out of nowhere. And the real challenge is, how do we act on that creative imagination? We all get ideas from time to time, but the difference is, do we act on that hunch, on that inspiration? And that's what we're going to be talking to you about today. And but it's not going to just be me, right? I'm not the only one here. I get to hang out with my good friend and actually my weekly accountability partner, Dr. Peter James. So, Dr. Peter, come on in, man.
What's going Galen, someone gave us the keys to the car today, and we are just driving. We're taking the top off. We are rolling. Let's just do what we want to today. It doesn't matter. Let's talk imagination. Let's talk strategy. Let's go all in. Are you with me?
Oh my gosh. Oh my God. You know, we've been wanting to do this. We've tried to do this a couple of times, and Miss Ann McNeil has always come in at the last minute to save the day. Miss Ann is joining us via, she's watching, but she is working her magic with an engagement in Orlando, and she sends her wishes. This is the first time that she has not been on the show. So we're just going to make sure that we have a great time. Definitely make sure that you are watching us, that you are watching us via the YouTube channel. Not only watch us, I want you to send this link to at least three other people. There has got to be at least three people who you believe need to understand what imagination is, and I want you to send this link to this show to at least three other people. And then I want you to like and follow the show. Hit that bell so that as we have new conversations, you can be alerted. You can be part of the conversation and actually join us. Those who are able to join us, they are able to ask questions. They're part of this conversation. It's not just a show. It's a full on conversation. So yeah. So hey, we're gonna change this thing around just a little bit.
Yes, we
Before
are.
we bring in our guest, Orrin Checkmate Hudson, I thought we would change this around just a little bit because Orrin's got a really interesting background, and we want to get into that. But let's talk a little bit, Dr. Peter, about this overall philosophy, because it would be worthwhile just to talk about imagination, but this fits inside of an overall Think and Grow Rich philosophy. I'd love for you to just share a little bit about what that entire philosophy represents.
Yeah. So thank you so much there, Galen. As Galen has mentioned there, folks, my name is Dr. Peter A. James. Excited to be here with you, helping you to shift your mindset on today's show. And as I mentioned earlier, we do not have Ann McNeil with us today, and we are going to take this thing and we're going to cross over the lines today. Galen, we're crossing over the lines. And the first thing that we're doing, which we usually do, is talk about this book a little bit, Think and Grow Rich. So those of you who have been with us for a little while, even those of you who have been here for the first time, this show revolves around the text Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. And this book is phenomenal. This text has been around for quite a long time. And you would think a book that was this long that was created this long ago would be outdated. It's not. It's still very relevant for today. It talks about 13 different principles that you can apply in your life right now in some form or fashion for your business, your career, or your life. Yeah, the title is Think and Grow Rich, but there's so many ways that you can think, that you can grow. And if wealth is part of this equation, hey, that's there too. But riches is not always just wealth. It goes into so many different areas. It dives into so many different areas. So now you almost have to challenge yourself. And that's what we do here. We challenge you to think differently, to think about these principles. And today we're going to dive on into strategy and imagination. But before we do, we've got a video that's going to explain this a little bit better, even better than I have. Take a listen.
Number one is desire. Napoleon Hill said that everything starts with a burning desire, a compelling reason for doing what it is we do. Step 2 is faith, having belief in our ability to attain that which we desire. Step 3 is what we call autosuggestion. Autosuggestion simply means being very intentional about the things that we are pouring into our thoughts, into our brains, and into our consciousness. Our brains, our minds will receive everything automatically, but we have to work extra hard to make sure that the positive things are what we are feeding ourselves, because those positive thoughts are going to turn into positive actions. Step number 4 is specialized knowledge. No one person knows everything, even about whatever their particular area of expertise might be. And the value of the MasterMind principle is using the specialized knowledge of other people. Step number 5 is imagination, the workshop of the mind. Everything starts with our imagination and our thoughts, the burning desire to transform those thoughts into our reality. In order to do that, we have to take a look at step 6, which is organized planning. That is how we crystallize our desire into action, organizing ourselves. Having the thought and not acting on the thought isn't going to get us anywhere. We have the thought, we go through the organized planning to transform that thought into action. Step number 7 is decision. What Napoleon Hill said is the mastery of procrastination. Napoleon Hill said that the antidote to procrastination is simply to make a decision and then move on that decision. Step 8 is persistence. We have to have a sustained effort which is induced by our faith in order to achieve our goals. One of Napoleon Hill's books I love, even the title, 3 Feet from Gold. Those people who became rich during the gold rush in the Wild Wild West days didn't do that because they were necessarily smarter or had better information than anyone else. It's because they stayed just a little bit longer. Sometimes people left when they were just literally 3 feet from gold. So hanging in there, being persistent, is step number 8. Step number 9, the power of the mastermind, the driving force. None of us can accomplish anything on our own. Everybody, I don't care who you are, from the most prominent person to the person who might be considered the lowest on the totem pole, everybody has someone who helped them get to where they are. And the power of the mastermind is being able to use those influences around us. Use the thoughts, use the knowledge, use the exploration of other people to help us in achieving our goal. Step number 10, the mystery of sex transmutation. This title can be a little confusing, but essentially what the mystery of sex transmutation means is that we oftentimes in our society think of sex as being purely physical. It is absolutely physical, but what Napoleon Hill teaches us is that sex also has an emotional element, and that sex is the strongest of our desires. That if we can take our sexual energy, transform that into positive, creative influences, it can propel us to new heights. And so we spend quite a bit of time talking about the mystery of step 10, which is sex transmutation. Step number 11 is the subconscious mind, which Napoleon Hill tells us is the connecting leap between our human mind and the infinite intelligence, the source of all thought, the source of all creativity. Conscious mind, we spent some time talking about how we use that through the influence of autosuggestion and what we're feeding into our mind. Step number 12, which is the brain, the broadcasting and receiving station of thought. Final step number 13, the sixth sense, the door to the temple of wisdom. This is the final step through which infinite intelligence may and will communicate voluntarily without any effort from or demands by the individual. The principle is the apex of the philosophy. It can be assimilated, understood, and applied only by first mastering the other 12 principles.
Good stuff, Galen. Those were the 13 steps. Let's dive on into this imagination today. What do you say?
Absolutely, absolutely, absolutely. So, I'll tell you, one of the things that I'd love to do is let me see if I can share something right quick, because this is going to be an incredible conversation. Not only do we get to talk about imagination, but we've got an amazing guest with us, Mr. Orrin C. Hudson, and the C stands for checkmate. This guy is a chess master. He is a published author, and he's got so many things going that gosh, let's see if I can just share something here. I'm not sure I can do this or not. Recent. Let me just share this.
Galen, while you're queuing that up, I want to acknowledge Ann McNeil. See her this morning. Good morning, Ann McNeil. Doretha, see you. Good morning to you, Miss Masterminder. Miss Colette, good to see you as well. Renette, good to see you today. And Dr. Aquel, thank you so much for joining us all this morning. Hope you all are doing well. Hope you're ready to dive on in to this phenomenal conversation.
Yeah, I'll tell you, I can't. I'm trying to get too fancy here at the last minute. I'll tell you what. Let's just bring in Mr. Orrin C. Hudson and have him share just a little bit about his bio, so that we can get into this conversation, and we'll see if we can share some more amazing news, Mr. Orrin. We couldn't get the video to going, but you hang out with some pretty amazing folks. Talk to us a little bit about who you are and how did you get involved with the book Think and Grow Rich?
Well, Think and Grow Rich has been a part of my life because for many years, I was a part of TNP, TPN, as well as Earl Nightingale. So I found out about Napoleon Hill through Earl Nightingale and through Les Brown and Willie Jolly and a few other people I always mention, Bob Proctor. So Bob Proctor, Les Brown, Napoleon Hill, I go back. I'm a big Jim Rohn fan, and so learning Think and Grow Rich, Jim Rohn talks about how he went in, paid $1 or maybe 50 cents for Think and Grow Rich. He bought it in a Goodwill. And so, yeah, I've always been connected with that through Jim Rohn and Nightingale Conant and Bob Proctor and Les Brown and people like them.
Got it. So now tell us just a little bit, talk a little bit about your background, because it's very easy for people to see us, on video. You've been on television, hear us on podcasts and think, well, of course, these guys are doing it. They've always been amazing. And that's usually not the story. We don't usually come out of the playground amazing and ready to go. You've got kind of an interesting story. I'd love for you to share a little bit about what's been the journey that's allowed you to get to where you are today.
Well, I was a gang member in my teens, and a white teacher in All Black High School pulled me to the side and said, "I'm going to teach you how to think." I said, "What do you mean?" He said, "You're following the follower." And I was, because when I was in this gang, they say, "Do this, I do it." They say, "Do that, I do it." And he said, "I'm going to teach you how to think." I said, "What do you mean?" He said, "I'm going to teach you chess." I said, No, I'm a checker guru." He said, "Checkers, you're using half of the board." He said, "Chess, you're using the entire board." He said, "Checkers, there's no females on the board. He said, chess, the female is the most powerful piece on the board. I said, let's get on with the classes. So he taught me chess. And female most powerful piece on the board. He go, yeah, she's 7 times more powerful than the king. I said, okay, I'm all in. So he taught me chess and it turned my life around. I owe my life to a teacher. I'm 14 years old. And, he turned my life around. I started thinking for myself. I started making better decisions. And next thing you know, I'm voted most likely to succeed. I went in the Air Force. And then from the Air Force, I became an Alabama State Trooper. And from the Alabama State Trooper, I started Be Someone because 7 people were shot in a robbery for $2,000. And I said to myself, bad things continue to happen when concerned people fail to make boss moves. Bad things continue to happen when concerned people fail to give back. Bad things continue to happen when concerned people fail to sacrifice. So I sacrificed everything I had and started Be Someone to teach people brains before bullets. Think it out, don't shoot it out. The only way to fight is to use your head. So I use chess because chess saved my life, and I'm just paying it forward because chess is about movement. Movement is life, and nothing happens until someone moves. My message, make every move count and make your next move your best move.
Wow, I love that. I love that. And so I'm gonna throw this to Dr. Peter to get him into this conversation. But I've got to know before we go in, because one of the things one of the stories that I share fondly is how my dad taught each of his kids how to play chess at a very, very young age. And what was so interesting is that he did not know how to play chess. He was like 2 moves ahead of us. He was 2 moves ahead of what he was teaching to us, but he felt that it was important for us to understand how to play chess just for the mental aspect of how you move through life. So I'm curious, checkmate, what's the connection between chess and the imagination? Because a lot of times people think, well, I don't have to be imaginative to play chess. I just need to learn the rules and how things move. But that's not quite the case at all, especially if you want to play at a high level. So what's the connection between imagination and learning and seeing chess as a strategy for life?
I think the key concept of chess, I use my imagination playing chess all the time because chess and imagination go hand in hand because imagination is about creativity and is about resourcefulness. And when you're resourceful, you can do more with less. I remember playing the Georgia State champion, I'll never forget, and he trapped my queen. And in that moment, I go, wow, I lost my queen. Let me give up. And I decided, wait a minute, no. I'm going to fight this out. And I won the game. And I said to him, wow, I play better when I'm down. I play better when I'm behind. So sometimes you can use your imagination to be resourceful. You can use your imagination for creativity. And I'm very creativity. Use your magic. James Bond teach you how to be creative. Use your imagination to get yourself out of this jam you in, because you have to think things through. You have to use your God-given brain to imagine the good things so that you can act on those images. Imagination is image, okay? It's coming from image. And you got to see these images. You have to, what you see is what you'll be. You have to see it before you see it, and then you can be it.
Dr. Peter, come on in here, man. The chat line is blowing up. So come on in here. What you got?
Yeah, I'm so interested, and I'm actually still I'm queuing up the video for us as well there, Galen, for sure. One question I have for you there, Mr. Orrin, is that, I'm looking at this imagination chapter from Napoleon Hill, and in it, he says that it has been said that anything that can be created, anything can be created, which a human being can imagine. Now, I'm a big fan of chess as well. I don't play it nearly enough as I need to, and I love the strategy behind it. I love to outthink my opponent overall. How can that sentence I just gave you, it can be said that anything can be created which a human being can imagine, how might that be tied into this chessboard when sometimes it's very finite, though? It's a chessboard and there's four corners and there's two sides. How can those sentences possibly be related a little bit? And I'm going to queue up your video by the time you and I have this question.
Well, I think I beat one of the top Russian grandmasters in the world. His name is Rashid Ziyatanov. And I used my imagination to do it because I did something that's risky. I gave away 5, which was a rook, for 1, which was a pawn. A rook is worth 5, a pawn is worth 1, and it's called sacrifices. Sacrifices must be made in order to have a breakthrough. You have to use your imagination to be resourceful, to be creative, to think outside the box, to realize that, okay, progress is impossible unless I use my imagination. Okay, I have to see it. I have to see it before everybody else see it. And I was talking to my mom, my mom passed away a couple of years ago, but I was talking to my mom prior to her death. And I said, Mom, do you see what I see? And she said, no, Dad. She said, no, Orrin, I don't see it. I said, okay, I'm going to do this because I see it. My imagination saw it. And I'm very creative. If you drop me off in a city, I will be on TV the next day making some moves, being very creative because I see stuff before it happens and I make it happen. Very creative, very resourceful, and I can do more with less.
Good stuff. Let's see if we can queue up this video there for you there, Mr. Orrin, and then maybe you can talk about it after it plays. Let's see if we can get it to play.
All right.
And it seems like it just went away with me. Stop sharing. We do not see that. Let me.
It's also on YouTube. Did she send you the YouTube link, or it won't do leave?
I think I saw it. I'm going to try to see if we can do this one more time. Okay, here we go. No, I did something. I'm messing. I'm not the video guru here. I had it queued up and then it went away on me here a little bit. So we'll keep asking you questions. So tell me some more about while I'm trying to figure this out a little bit more. So Napoleon Hill really talks about synthetic and creative imagination. Synthetic, more of the imagination where it's based a little bit on your education and your experience, whereas creative, it's almost dreamed to a certain extent. Again, if I bring that back to the chessboard, chess is a game where you have to be taught, you have to understand, you have to know what the next steps are, know what your opponent's moves are as well. How can you be creative outside of the box and again a finite area?
Well, chess is you sacrificing. Like when I what you have to do in order to beat someone like I beat one of the top Russian grandmasters, I had to catch him off guard. I had to be really creative. I had to be very resourceful. I had to do something that catch him to get him thrown off of his game. You're not gonna get to the next level doing what your opponent thinks you're gonna do. To get to the next level, you got to do something bizarre. When the Philadelphia Eagles beat Tom Brady, the Patriots, they beat them because the coach, it was 4th down, and everybody said kick a field goal. The coach said, you know what? I ain't kicking no field goal. We ain't doing none of that. But if we don't kick, we may lose. No, we going for it anyway. So the quarterback lined up behind normal, and then he walked to the end. He did something bizarre. They used their creative imagination. They said, we're going to trick the defense. And that's the only way you can win. You have to outthink the competition and finish on top.
I see that also. And what I love about that is almost being willing to step into the unknown as well, right?
That's what imagination is all about. So you got two forms of imagination. You got the synthetic, and then you have the creative part. Right. The creative part is when you step into the unknown, you do something that nobody has never. You really do something bizarre and never been done before, and you come out of the. You have to figure out ways. Like I came up with this idea the other day, and then I saw it on the internet. And I go, wow, somebody beat me to the punch. So yeah. You got to be creative. You got to think of things that's not here. And you have to say to yourself, this is a powerful question. Everybody say ding, ding, ding. Say ding, ding, ding.
Ding, ding, ding.
Say, what am I doing now that in 10 years from now that I can make better? And work on it now. And 10 years from now, how can I improve? How can I make better what I'm doing right now? And just take your life and advance it 10 years and figure out ways that you can use your creative imagination, the creative part, and make it happen.
All right, I think I got this video queued up finally there, Orrin. I think let's see if we can get it to play. Hopefully you can hear it.
Hello, how are you?
Oh, you're good.
I've got a special guest tonight that has been making a difference in young people's lives for many years.
A DeKalb County man honored by President George H.W. Bush was among those in Washington Wednesday to celebrate the life of our 41st president.
Get your head in the game.
Ending the cycle of youth violence.
Stay in the game. Stay in the game. Say it.
Now pay attention to what I do, class, because whatever I do, you can do with your game.
Say it. What? Motivational speaker and chess champion Orrin Hudson is using chess, one of the oldest games around, to help children navigate through the complexities of life.
This is a brain game, and you win or lose based on the decision that you make.
A Georgia man is inspiring inner city students across the country through chess. It's teaching them to make the right moves in life.
I can change the word. I am somebody.
One man bringing that lesson to thousands of people all across the country. And that man is Orrin Checkmate Hudson.
Stay in the game. Stay in the game. Say it. Get on top of your game. Top of your game. Say it. What game? What game? Say it.
Orrin Hudson is just a bad boy. He's committed to helping young people to rethink their lives.
Then you learn, because it's all about learning, and that's why we play.
And I thank God for Orrin Hudson because he is a young man that has been making a difference in young people's lives. Over 75,000 youth.
Orrin Hudson learned how to play in high school and became the first African American to win back-to-back city chess championships.
Get in the game. Stay in the game. Come on, y'all. Get your head in the game. Get in the game. Say it. Put your head in the game. Stay in the game. Say it. Everybody wins. Top of the game. Say it. What game? What game? Say it.
Brains before bullets.
What's the game of life? The game of life.
Think it out. Don't shoot it out.
What one can do, so can you. Learn from the best. It's all up to you. Chess is more than a game. It's a test.
The only way to fight is to use your head.
Everybody's a winner when you know the truth. It's all about learning. You'll live in proof. Dropping a demo on today's shoe. I just like
Orrin Hudson is the world's #1 youth trainer, teaching our kids how to become critical thinkers and make good choices.
That's how I learn.
That's how I learn.
I succeed
I succeed
by learning.
by learning.
Make it okay.
Make it okay.
Fail.
if you walk around with your pants sagging and you throwing rocks at the police, your head is not in the game. So what we're doing is you're following the follower. We're teaching young people how to follow a leader and be a leader.
We need all hands on deck. Law enforcement is a good tool. We need parents to step their game up. We need pastors. We need the whole community.
Top of your game. Top of your game. Say it. Get on top of your game. What game? What game? Say game of life. Game of life. Game of life. The game of life. Say it. Everyone wins.
Mr. Orrin, is that what I love about that, Mr. Orrin, is that you are not afraid to step into your own imagination. And I wonder if those who are listening, those who are watching this video, as you think about your own path, your own journey, your own dreams and your imagination, how willing, how much desire do you have to step into that? It's courageous. You got to be courageous for that. Because Orrin, that's what I'm seeing all over that video we just watched, your courage to step into those spaces no matter what.
Well, you got to make it okay to fail.
Yep.
You know, when the Wright brothers did the airplane, it was you know, they didn't know. They did some creative and they also had some synthetic as well. But because other people had tried to do the flight as well. Creative is when you come out of the box and you just do something no one else ever done. So in chess and life and what I do, I'm very creative, I'm very resourceful, and I use my imagination to get out of some jams and to make my next move my best move. Your mind is a pearl. You can change the world. You can do this. You can do it here, and you can do it now.
Yeah, there's a book by the title, and you kind of are alluding to this. I really am. I believe in this phrase. Everything is figure outable for on the chessboard, but also in life, in your business, in your career. And Galen, I think one of the things that we have to learn how to do that Orrin is really demonstrating for us is stepping into that fear, stepping into that imagination boldly.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah. Absolutely. But hey, I've got a couple questions for Orrin, but for anyone who is listening to this podcast, definitely check out it's Orrin C. Hudson with Les Brown. Or what's the name of the video that they can access on YouTube, Orrin?
If you Google my name and Les Brown, we've done a lot of event stuff. So, I mean, we've been on, so it may, about 4 or 5 videos may come up because he and I are good friends and we do a lot together. And we're going to be doing something really big coming up soon. So stay tuned.
Yeah,
but if you Google my name and Les Brown, a lot of stuff come up. So you'll get it. But I got a plethora of other stuff. I've been on Good Morning America, CNN, USA Today. I can play 50 people at once in chess, and I use my imagination. How can you play 50 people at once? I said, I use my imagination. I look at the board. I use my imagination. I make a move. I look at the board. I see the pattern. I make a move. Pattern recognition is the key to success in all fields. Once you know the pattern, you can plan, you can prepare, you can position, you can pivot, you can predict. This game is over.
Fantastic. And one of the things that you touched on just a little while ago, and I'd love for you to expand on, is this idea of failure. Because very often people will go into situations and they will do absolutely everything that they can not to fail, which makes all the sense in the world, until it becomes an issue of paralyzing. A lot of people seem to get paralyzed by this idea of failure. I only want to do those things that are assured to to bring me success. I'm not getting those same vibes from you. So
Chess is a beautiful game because it teaches you how to embrace failure, to welcome failure, that failure is your friend. Failure is good. If you want to be successful, double your failure rate. Now, there's probably not many people that can beat me in chess. Okay, let's keep it real. But at the same time, I'm the king of failure. I lost more chess games than anybody alive, and I brag about it. I've been checkmated more than anybody alive. And that's my bragging point because failure is king. Ooh, I just came up with that. Never said this before. Failure is king. Why? Because the more you fail, the smarter you get. If you want to be successful, if you want to be a champion, double your failure rate. Get out there and fail. Why? Failure is an excellent school for learning. Failure is the best school on the planet for learning. Failure is a gold mine. Are you kidding me? Why? Because you learn what not to do, and it changes that. It tells you when it's time to learn, and it shifts your focus. It shifts your imagination. You say, "Okay, I successfully identified 10,000 ways the light bulb can't be made." Okay, so that puts me. They said, Thomas Edison, you a failure. You know, man was meant to live by candlelight. He said, no, I'm not a failure. I've successfully identified 10,000 ways the light bulb can't be made. This is what man was meant to live by candlelight. No. We're going to do this light, and I've successfully identified 10,000 ways it can't be done, which puts me 10,000 ways closer to where I can be. I'm living my dream. Touch me, make sure I'm not dreaming.
Well, I'll tell you, man, you must not be dreaming because the chat line is blowing up. We've got Renita Gordon. She is all over this. She loves the idea of failure being king. We've got Doretha Dennis, who is, again, just excited about failure, teaching us what not to do. I saw Wyman Winbush, another powerful communicator and educator. He's in here just excited about this message that you're delivering. And I'm just gonna weigh in and say, man, you are doing some things that really are impossible. You're not supposed to be able to do the things that you're doing.
Well,
Yet
I have a lot of favor from God. I mean, let me give you an example. I did a workshop and I was on TV 5 times. They covered it 5 times. Then I did it 2 weeks later. Then they covered it 5 times again. All the stations. And I've been in 40 cities. I've been on TV in 40 different cities. But a lot of it is not me, it's my imagination, and it's God. I have favor from God because I love people. I want people to win. I was a state trooper for 7 years. I had the blue light, the badge, the bulletproof vest. But everybody I stopped, I treated them like the most important person in the world. Why? Because what you sincerely desire for others will happen for you. I like helping other people. It's not about me. You got a lot of knuckleheads. The jail are filled with people who are trying to take. I'm changing the game because I'm teaching people. If you want to be successful, be a giver. I'm going to outgive the competition and I'm going to finish on top. The person who outgives the competition beats the competition. You win by giving.
Hey, I want to pull one more question at you, and then I'll turn this back over to Dr. Peter. One of my favorite jazz musicians is Miles Davis. And Miles Davis once said, in order to be a great jazz musician, you got to learn everything you can and then forget everything that you've learned and just show up. This idea of just operating after you've been trained, operating off of your instincts was what he was promoting as being the key to being a great jazz master. I see similarities. Are there similarities? Can I just show up without the training of how to play chess and just be committed to fighting hard? Will that get me the kind of results that you've seen, or is there a dance between learning the rules?
Here, I'm gonna share something with you that's worth $1 million. You learn by doing. You learn by doing. The key to greatness is to get in the game, make it okay to fail, enjoy failure, embrace failure, dance with failure. Failure is your friend. Make it okay to fail. Love failure. Why? You're getting brilliant. You're getting smarter. Now, why is it people that you know can't beat me in chess? I've seen this movie before. I've been there, done that, have the t-shirt. I know a thing or two because I've seen a thing or two. And I've lost more games than anybody alive.
Dr. Peter, what you got, man?
Galen and Orrin, this is so insightful. Galen, you and I came out of a training not too long ago that the leader of it is really providing insight that, we need to learn to embrace no, the word no, right? As Orrin goes into detail about this failure, we've been brought up through our educational system from our parents not to fail, to get that A, to get that B, the C, but stay away from that D and that F, right? That failure. We've almost been trained that failure means that we're not going to be successful in life. How does an individual begin to shift that narrative in themselves? Don't get me wrong. I think that chess is a great way to learn that because you're continuously, repetitively learning it and you're going to lose a lot. But from your perspective, especially in your life and your career, we watched this video. How can someone shift the narrative in their brain to remain in that no space, remain in that failure space and still thrive?
Well, like I say, every no you get, you're one step closer to that yes. So no's are great. No's are beautiful. And Brian Tracy said, when you know a person gonna tell you no, you hit them with everything you got. You hit them with this clothes, that clothes, this clothes. So embrace no's. No's are great because it moves you in the right direction. Every no you get is, I remember this guy. He realized that if he talked to 10 people, he would get $100. And so he said to this lady, she told him no. He said, thanks for the $10. He said, wait a minute. I didn't give you $10. I didn't give you. He said, yeah, no. Yes, you did. He said, because every 10 person I talk to, I get 100. So you gave me $10. Thanks for the $10. So every no you get, you're getting paid. And that's how you look at it. I'm living my dream because I'm rejection proof.
Yeah.
You know, shoot your shot, because I'm rejection improved. Because every disappointment is a blessing. Life is a conspiracy to help you win. Be thankful for the good, the bad, and the ugly, because it's all good in the neighborhood. I won't stop till I drop, and I'm coming in hot.
Good stuff. Good stuff there, Orrin. I want to bring in something that Galen and I and Ann McNeil, we really are hold near and dear to. Think and Grow Rich speaks about this a lot. It's accountability. Orrin, I'm going to ask you on the flip side of showing this image here a little bit, what accountability looks like in your life. Who holds you accountable as well? But those of you who, again, this is your first time, or maybe this is not your first time, and you're thinking, I'm loving the message of Orrin. I'm loving what Peter and Galen are talking about with Think and Grow Rich. How do I really adopt this in my life? One of the biggest ways that we've been able to be successful is accountability, a mastermind, those around you who can help get you to that next level. And every year, early in January in Boca Raton, that we have an accountability meeting, which helps set your year off, helps set your year off to a great start. It allows you to reflect on where you've come, but it allows you to plan and imagine and strategize where you are going. And then what's also the magic of this all is identifying that mastermind, identifying that individual who can help hold you accountable to those goals, to those dreams on a regular basis. So if you are available, actually, it's not even an if you are available. You see the image on the screen, you see the dates. Right now, you have nothing planned for January 6th and 7th, 2023. You have nothing planned right now. There's no reason you should not block this out on your calendar and book a flight to Boca Raton. If you are not already in South Florida, you need to be there for sure. So, Orrin, I want to bring you back in for that. Accountability. What does that look like?
You got to be accountable. And one of the ways you can be accountable, you can share what you want to do to your enemies, and it'll motivate you to do it, because you kind of, the best revenge is massive success. And share what you're doing, but hold yourself accountable. Do what you say you're going to do, and do it when you say you're going to do it, because what you put out will come back. And the beauty of it is, just take action. The cure all for all success in all fields is action. Movement is life, and nothing happens until something moves. Make your next move your best move, and make it okay to move. And if you fail, make it okay to get back up. The Bible says a good man will fall down 7 times, get up 8. Is it a good man? So even in your well-doing, you will fall, but you must get up. And if you don't give up, you will win. This is the Orrin Hudson remix. Be not weary in your falling down. If you get back up, because you always win if you get back up. And I get a kick out of just holding myself accountable. I'm going to do what I say I'm going to do. When I'm saying I'm going to do it, I'm going to be where I'm supposed to be. When I say I'm going to be there, my word is my bond. If I tell you something, you can take it to the bank. That's my brand. My brand is I'm going to give you more value than anybody alive, because I'm going to over deliver. I'm going to promise a lot, and I'm going to give you way more than I promise. People say promise a lot, and I'm going to promise a lot and give you way more than I promise. I'm going to wow you. Here's what I teach. My brand is I'm going to treat you better than family. See, blood is thicker than water, but syrup is thicker than blood. So technically speaking, pancakes come before family.
Galen, you'll get a kick out of this. I love all of what Orrin's saying. He said something that really stuck with me. He said, "I'll let your enemies know what you're doing ahead of time." Quick story, really quick. Years ago, I was in corporate, and when you're supposed to leave an organization, you're supposed to give a 2-week notice. I gave a 6-month notice. I did that for a reason, though. That was more for me than it was for them. I literally wrote it out, typed it out, sent them. I said, "Hey, this is my resignation letter, 6 months from today." And it allowed me to get myself together, get my act together to leave when I needed to, for sure. So it's interesting. Thank you so much for sharing that, Orrin. Galen, Good stuff,
Yeah,
man. Good
I
stuff.
mean, again, this has been such an amazing conversation. That's really what I wanted to move to. What are some key um, ahas that you've received from this conversation already? And I'll tell you, one of the things for me that I have really taken as an aha is the importance of acting on hunches and instincts. We talk a lot about synthetic imagination because, quite honestly, it's the easiest to come by, right?
Hmm.
It's the easiest to find what other people are doing and find a way to bring that together, and that's really really important. A lot of people call that innovation. If you can find a different use for something that already exists, really really important. However, we are always being communicated to by the infinite. There are always inspiration, hunches, great ideas, but the problem is we leave it as, wow, that's interesting, and we don't do anything with it. So for me, just the importance of acting on those instincts and hunches, I think are really really important. And checkmate, I'd love to get your thoughts on just this idea of acting on these hunches as opposed to just saying, well, it would be great if, I wonder if, wouldn't it be cool if. What are some times when you've acted on hunches, either in a chess match or in a business or in this crazy idea that you could actually connect with Les Brown?
Well, Les Brown called me one time. And he go, uh, "I lost my license. Oh my God, I'm a passport." Da, 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 da. I said, "Well, I got a connection. I'll make a phone call, and you walk in and get him." But I made a phone call, and he was able to get him. But I use my resources. I use my connections, my contacts, and I'm always adding value. So as a result, I was able to make that. So, but I'm all about just putting out the good stuff, putting out good, give good, serve people, go out of your way to help other people because, like I said earlier, what you sincerely desire for others will happen for you. Life is a paradox. It's the opposite of what you think. And the brain will generally try to keep you safe, but you got to be able to take calculated risks. You got to be willing to sacrifice. Progress is impossible unless you use your imagination to sacrifice, to give back, to create value, to do something no other party will do. Give people more value than you expect, and miracles will happen in your life.
Fantastic, fantastic. So Dr. Peter, what are some key ideas or ahas that you've gotten from this conversation?
Yeah, a little bit too much here, right? And actually, I'm gonna incorporate this first with some of your quotes here, there, Orrin. I love that last one, which is so true because it gets me to think analytically, um, physiologically. Your brain automatically tries to keep you safe. So everyone who's listening, everyone who's watching, think about that. Think about your business goals and your career goals. Your brain automatically is conditioned to keep you safe, right? So, what is it kind of preventing you or holding you back from stepping into that you know you need to, but it's not really? What's outside of your boundaries? What's outside of your comfort zone that you know you need to step in to embrace that failure, as Checkmate here has been talking about? That's huge. That's huge on so many levels because we're trying to play it safe and still win. We're trying to play it safe and still win. I don't know if that's a thing. I don't think that's a thing. Actually, I don't know anybody who's played it safe and won. They've always had to step outside of what they're used to. And I think Orrin has done a great job of bringing chess into that, but also demonstrating how he's been able to use the chessboard and apply it to life, apply it to his business, apply it to his relationships. He was on there with Tyler Perry, right? So what does that look like for you now who are watching, who are listening? What do you need to do beginning today to step into your greatness? And you can be great. It's just your mind's telling you can't get to that level or you can't meet Tyler Perry. You can, if you have the will and the desire.
What move will I make if I was brave? What move will I make if I were brave? And you got to go for it. What move would I make if I was brave? Why? No risk it, no biscuit. No risk it, no biscuit. Get in the game. Get in the game. Say it. No risk it, no biscuit. You got to be here's oh, ding ding. Everybody say ding ding ding.
Ding 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 ding.
It takes courage to succeed. You're not going to make it in this world unless you step out on faith. You got to go for it. You got to put all your eggs in one basket and watch that basket. You got to step out on faith. Progress is impossible unless you break the pattern. You got to break the pattern. You got to step outside your comfort zone. Most people sacrifice their dreams for the comfort zone. You have to sacrifice your comfort zone for your dream. Be uncomfortable. Make it okay to be uncomfortable. Jump and develop your wings on the way down. Make your move before you're ready. I won't shut up and I won't give up until I'm called up. I won't stop till I drop and I'm coming in hot. Don't do the first thing that pops in your head. Your first crack could be a whack and you can't take it back. So think before you act. I'm black and I'm back and I'm on attack.
So Orrin, I'd love to have you just share how people can get a hold of you. What are you doing next? If people want to get more of this, this motivation, this connection to chess, this strategic approach to life, how can they get more of that? And what are you doing next?
You can be someone, be someone.org. You go to my website, be someone.org. I'm easy to access. You can Google Orrin Hudson. My information goes up easy. I'm the only Orrin Hudson on the planet. But I'm doing next is an 8-week boot camp for young people, teaching them how to think strategically about their future, how to make their next move, their best move, how to be a good human being. Do no harm. Use your head and your heart. The only way to fight is use your head and your heart. I'm teaching them how to play chess, teaching them how to make their next move the best move, teaching them how to wake up winning, that you can do this. Your mind is a pearl, and you can do this. You can do it here, and you can do it now. No one's better than you. And you know better than anyone else. What you put out will come back. The good you do will come back multiplied to you. The bad you do will be sad for you. Be someone.org.
Oh, love it. I love it. I love it. This is the reason why you tuned into the show today. There were dozens of other reasons why you could have decided to do something else or nothing at all. And this is the reason why you tuned in today. Dr. Peter, what are some key things that you took from this conversation? What are you working on next, and how can people get a hold of you?
Yeah, again, lots of great quotes there, Galen. Thank you so much there, Checkmate. You've provided some insight for me, some inspiration for me that I need to be able to step on into. Hey, folks, my name is Dr. Peter A. James, the high performance coach, helping you to shift your mindset. You can find me on any social media platform at Dr. Peter A. James. That's at DrPeterAJames. My biggest takeaway, Galen, from this is, again, I think I'm playing too small. Just quite simply. There's always another level, and my own brain. I'm not even going to speak for anybody, the audience, participants, you all here on the call as well. My brain, I'm having to fight that to get to the next level, because my brain wants to keep me at the level that I'm at right now. Why? Because it's comfortable. Right? It's comfortable. It's my family's healthy, my family's happy, my environment's good. I got a nice place to live, got a nice car. I'm comfortable. But I know that God put me on this planet for greatness. I want to be able to step into that. So I need to overcome my own upper level, step out of that and into that fear, into that failure, into that unknown outside of my comfort zone. I'm gonna start doing that actually today. What about you, Galen?
Fantastic. Yeah, I mean, this has been an incredible conversation, as all of them are. But one of the things that I got from this conversation was really just kind of a reminder of, I mean, outside of the connection to chess, and as I shared with you earlier, I've got a personal connection to the game of chess. It's one of the games that my dad taught all of his kids, even though he didn't know how to play chess. He was literally one chapter ahead of what he was teaching us. And I've just always been impressed and really thankful for his giving us that approach to how we approach life. So that connection to chess has been really really great to see. Obviously, Checkmate is the master, pun intended. He is the master at making that connection and leveraging chess to do amazing things. But one of the things that I have really just been convinced of, and these are the words of Andrew Carnegie. He said, people who are unable to motivate themselves must be content with mediocrity, no matter how impressive their talents are. And I've been really, really just convinced that Checkmate here, he's got the talents, but boy, he's really motivating. But one of the things that he's doing is he's encouraging us to motivate ourselves. So that's one of the things that I'm just really, really excited about and thankful for. My name is Galen Bingham. I am the leadership strategist. I'm a certified executive coach. You can get a hold of me in a variety of different ways just by putting in my name. But the most fun way to get a hold of me is by tuning in to my podcast, the Whiskey, Jazz, and Leadership Podcast. We share the whiskeys to drink, the jazz music to listen to, and what it really takes to be an effective leader. This is real talk you can't get anywhere else, and I double dog dare you to try us just once. We've just been named in the top 3% of all podcasts worldwide. And that's because of amazing guests. And I'm going to go on record right now trying to see if I can get Dr. Checkmate to join us on that communication platform, on that podcast, because I think you'd have a lot of fun. Anything you want to leave us with, Checkmate, because you've just shared so much. This has been a great conversation. Anything you want to leave us with?
Being the best is a major quest. Don't get upset if you fail your first test. Try again and learn from within. Use your imagination and believe that you can. Stay focused and on track. Associate with positive people and don't look back. Believe in yourself and think before you act. Keep a positive attitude and get all the fact. Your mind is a pearl. You can change the world. Be someone.org.
Ah, fantastic. That is a great way to end this incredible episode of the International Mastermind Think and Grow Rich Show. My name is Galen Bingham. I'm here with Dr. Peter A. James. Every week we've got Ann McNeil, and today's guest was none other than Orrin Checkmate Hudson. Join us every Saturday, 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And be sure to follow us, like us, and share us on YouTube. We guarantee you that you will get something out of the conversation each week. Until next time, take care.